Hello friends, today in this presentation we are going to study transformation of austenite into perlite upon cooling with very slow cooling rate. As we are aware of perlite, which is a interlamellar structure of ferrite and cementite, it is observed under microscope as a lamellar structure. So here we can observe one dark band of cementite along with a bright band of ferrite. So this interlamellar structure of ferrite and cementite is called as perlite. Upon cooling austenite with very slow cooling rate, it transforms into perlite. Then upon very fast cooling rate, that is more than critical cooling rate, if the rate of cooling is more than critical cooling rate, it will form a martensitic structure. So this is the martensitic microstructure of martensite. So it shows a needle-like structure, and this is the benetic structure with somewhat moderate cooling rate, not faster cooling rate as compared to critical cooling rate, but with somewhat lesser cooling rate. If the steels are cooled, then we are getting a benetic structure. So this benite under microscope is observed like a feather-like structure and a acicular structure. So this feather-like structure is called as upper benite and acicular structure is called as a lower benite. So this all phases, perlite, martensite, upper benite and lower benite, these are well explained by using a TTT diagram. So this is how transformation of austenite into perlite takes place. After heating and holding perlite or the room temperature structure, ferrite and cementite, or perlite and cementite, depending upon what kind of steel we are selected, whether it is a hypo-eutectoid steel, a eutectoid steel or a hyper-eutectoid steel, is transformed into austenite, that is gamma. This gamma upon cooling is transformed into different types of structures depending upon rate of cooling and method of cooling. The type of structure formed are called as perlitic structure, benetic structure and a martensitic structure. We will see one by one how austenite gets transformed into perlite or benite and martensite in subsequent slides. Firstly, we will see how austenite will be transforming into perlite. It is formed upon continuous slow cooling. So the rate of cooling in case of formation of austenite into perlite is very slow, as in case of annealing heat treatment, where in annealing heat treatment we are just switching off the furnaces, and with that cooling, which is very slow cooling, it will form a coarser perlitic structure. And medium air cooling, that is castings are kept at open air and that castings are cooled by a flow of air, and that kind of heat treatment is called as normalizing, and that leads to a fine perlitic structure. This perlite is a structure formed by eutectoid transformation. Eutectoid transformation means transformation of one solid into two different solid structures. One solid is austenite and two different solids formed are ferrite and cementite, and it is seen in iron and carbonate phase diagram, which is drawn by equilibrium, that is very slow cooling. Then another product formed upon cooling from austenite is benite, that is upper or lower benite, is formed upon stepped cooling. Initially it is cooled fastly, then it is held for some time period in between 500 to 300 degrees Celsius, followed by slower cooling, that will give a benetic structure. And in martensitic structure, upon very fast cooling or rapid cooling, the castings in oil quenching or water quenching, it will give a martensitic structure. That is, all austenite will get transformed into 100% martensitic structure. So this transformation of austenite into perlite takes place because of decomposition of phases. The transformation of austenite upon very slow cooling is a complex process in a sense that compositional as well as structural changes are involved. Carbon present in austenite is maximum of 2%. It increases to 2% from 0.8% as temperature increases. Adjusts itself in such a way that at one end it leaves behind an almost carbon free phase, that is ferrite, and on other hand it combines with iron to form a cementite phase, that is iron carbide. Similarly, Large scale redistribution of alloying elements takes place when the solubility of element is restricted in alpha iron, and there is a strong tendency for element to form carbides. Also, the crystal structure changes from gamma iron to alpha iron, that is, it changes from austenite to ferritic structure. The process of decomposition of austenite to perlite aggregate is essentially a diffusion control process and proceeds by nucleation and growth mechanism. Therefore, any factor which is able to vary either the rate of nucleation and the rate of growth, or both, is also able to change the nature of ferritic and cementetic mixture, that is perlitic mixture. This slide gives idea regarding how decomposition takes place, and austenite grain step by step gets converted into a 100% perlitic structure. So as in first step, one segment is shown here, one segment of austenite grain is shown, and this black color indicates the grain boundary of austenite. Then this second figure indicates nucleation of cementite nuclei at the grain boundaries. So first step is to form cementite nuclei at the grain boundaries. That takes place by transformation of cementite, that leading to formation of cementite platelet at the grain boundaries. Then as the further time lapses and temperature slowly drops because of diffusion of carbon from surrounding austenite, the concentration of carbon percentage in cementite goes on increasing. And as we are aware of, cementite contains maximum of 6.67% carbon, and austenite contains maximum of 2% carbon. So by diffusion of carbon from surrounding austenite, there will be a growth of cementite. So this growth of cementite will continue till its critical value is reached, as cementite contains maximum of 6.67% carbon. So it will grow till a critical value or critical size of cementite platelet is nucleated. So this will be shown here in the fourth slide. The percentage of carbon in surrounding austenite reaches a critical minimum value, so it will be nucleating till its critical value is reached. Once that critical value is reached, it will not further grow, the cementite platelet will not further grow, and another ferrite nuclei will grow at the surrounding to the cementite platelet. So this will be shown here in the fifth slide figure, that is nucleation of ferrite. Then there will be again growth of ferrite because of carbon diffusion from surrounding ferrite to surrounding. So it will try to increase the percentage of carbon in the surrounding austenite. So because of further diffusion, ferrite will try to nucleate at the platelets surrounding to the platelets of cementite. So it will reach, or it will grow till its critical size is reached. So the percentage of carbon in surrounding austenite reaches to a maximum value. Then as the further temperature drops and time lapses, there will be nucleation of new cementite nucleus adjoining the ferrite nucleus, and it will continue till all the austenite grains are covered with alternate lamella of ferrite and cementite. So here yellow color indicates one ferrite platelet and blue color indicates the cementite platelet. So this will continue because of decomposition of carbon from ferrite to surrounding, and from surrounding carbon is diffused into cementite till its critical value is reached. So nucleation and growth will continue till all austenite getting transformed into perlitic structure. So this is how austenite will transform into 100% perlitic structure, and that takes place with the process of decomposition. Thank you.